Everyone, welcome back. We're here, another episode of If Your Will podcast, chugging through season six. Season six has been great so far. So many amazing artists out there. It's hard to talk with all of them, but I have another great guest today coming in from Germany. Actually, I have Joel Gibb from the Hidden Cameras. I guess a Canadian expat, grew up here in the great white north that we love to call it, and has been doing music for a really long time. And he's just put out this really cool record in September called Bronto, which has, I mean, it's really dancey. It's really kind of fun and gets you moving, but still has that hidden camera sensibility to it, which I just love. So, Joel, thanks so much for joining me today. I've really been enjoying the new record, but like I said before we hopped on here, I'm a long time fan of the Hidden Cameras. You guys have been around for a long time. You've been writing so much music too. Like if you just look at your catalog, it's massive, which I love. Um, Joel, I had like the first kind of question I tend to ask when we start these conversations is where did it all kind of start to percolate for you around music? I know that you had some records that came out fairly, like a fairly long time ago. Well, relatively long time ago, um, around, in 2016, 2014. Like, how did music start to become something that you would be doing for a long part of your life?
I always liked music, so I just gravitated towards that. I mean, I did go to university, U of T,
Hmm.
in the late 90s, but was more interested in learning guitar chords and writing songs, actually. So by the time I'd finished university, I'd amassed like all these songs. And so when I started the band, it was basically in September, the year after I graduated. It was like, what am I going to do? And that's how it all started, basically.
Wow. And
Started recording on 4 track and then
right,
starting a band and getting musicians together and then recording the first studio record,
right,
The Smell of Our Own. That's already from 2003.
right. That was
Yeah.
actually the first. Okay, so that was the first record that. So your first record that I started, I mean, obsessing on.
Yeah, exactly.
It was such a great record. I mean, continue to this day, I can listen to the whole thing over and over and over again. Um, what were your like? How did you get this amassed amount of songwriting? Like, could you kind of open the doors a little bit to the like your process of like how do you go? How did you start becoming so prolific in the songs that you were writing? Was there a catalyst, or was there like how did all that come to be that you had all these songs and you were ready to actually collaborate with other people and put a record out?
I don't know. I think the best thing about university, I would say, is that you do take in a lot of ideas.
Hmm.
And if you're studying English or whatever, yeah, it's inspiring, I guess. I guess experiences. I don't know. That's a really tough question to answer. Like, what drove me to start writing songs?
Right.
I
I
think I'd
mean,
always been a music fan, basically, and I wanted to do it myself. So
hmm.
that's
And
where
what
it
were
came
some of
from.
those early inspirations? Like who did you look at when you were when you were writing songs that were like, I loved what they do. I think I can do this.
Oh, I mean, so many. I mean, too many to count, actually.
Hmm.
I mean, it was um, Sonic Youth, The Cure, The
Hmm.
Smiths, like growing up,
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really liked indie music. So when I was in high school, I got really into like all sorts of obscure stuff.
Hmm.
And then I discovered more like the 60s and 70s properly, more in university, actually.
Okay.
The classics.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, too many to count.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. And like, what's your
Yeah.
process for writing songs? How does a song begin for you? And how do you know when you're onto something or not?
Um, Honestly, it comes from back in the day, it would come from buying a new instrument. If you
Hmm.
bought a new synthesizer, you immediately write a new song.
Right. Right.
Like, for example, In the Na,
Yeah.
from 2009. Like that was from buying a synthesizer. That was the first thing I played was that riff. And like Hey Ye, it's like this weird instrumental track on a Woo. That was the first song I wrote when I bought a 1964 left-handed Gretsch from Paul's Boutique. It was just strumming the part of the I don't know what you even call the section of the guitar at the end of the guitar.
Like the neck
Um,
of like
no, the other part.
okay, right.
You have to see the guitar to tell, but it's just this
Right.
space where the strings are before the bridge. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. I That's a good
Uh,
question.
like
Yeah. So, I
yeah.
mean, are you saying
I
then that
mean,
instrumentation was always at the forefront of the songs, or would you ever start from a lyric or a phrase or a
oh, that as well. That as
yeah?
well. Walking down the street, you know,
Mm-hmm.
singing to yourself. Sometimes a lyric pops up first, like band marriage probably.
Right, right,
Probably just came the chorus, just like the whole debate about marriage in Canada. That's basically when I wrote the song, like as a funny, I don't know, take on the whole thing, on humanity itself. Like,
right,
what else? Yeah, sometimes like just a vocal melody or chord structure. Like if you learn a new chord, you can just write a whole new song, basically.
right, right.
You know?
Yeah, it's amazing
So,
the
and I'm
discovery
self-taught.
process
Like
that
I did
yeah.
not study music in
Uh-huh.
university or anything.
Right, right. And like what would prompt you to want to get another instrument? Just was that the way that you kind of were like, okay, if I get a new instrument, then new things will start to happen? Like, or were you just always interested in gathering instruments, like you just like instruments?
I don't want to be that actually. Like, but at the time I wanted to make a giant orchestra of like unlimited people.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think I had that spirit, that energy, that post-university itch to like do something,
right, right,
big and involving people. And when you're just more social as well when you're younger.
right, right.
And so yeah.
Interesting. And I mean, I mentioned this to you before we hopped on, but you had this phrase that you coined now, and I kind of want you to place it in history. Like, when did this? So it was called gay church folk music. That was a term that you had coined about the music that you were making. Was that right at the beginning, Joel, of your putting songs down on record, or was this an evolution of your style as it kind of grew?
I think the first show was in an art gallery. It was in my friend's art gallery.
Hmm.
But then once that show went down, it went down really well. I immediately booked a show at Graffiti's in Kensington Market.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this was only maybe a month later or something. It was in the winter.
Mm.
And then I wrote on the flyer, the first flyer, the tones and drones of gay folk church music.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
it's actually a longer
Right.
phrase, actually. It's the tones and drones of gay folk church music. Maybe I should have called the first album that actually.
Right. No, it's
Sounds
cool.
pretty
I
good.
love the term. And I
And the
see it,
idea
like,
was, and then
yeah.
the idea was immediately to play a show in a church.
Okay.
So that became the goal. And I think by spring or early summer, we
Great.
played a church, the Church of the Redeemer
Wow.
on Boulogne Avenue.
And what was that
Yeah.
experience like playing in a church? That you said this was your
It was
second show
fun.
ever
It
that
was
you
fun. I mean, it
yeah.
was because then I was kind of writing songs for the church, maybe like Golden Streams. That's where we debuted Golden Streams. And that
Hmm.
literally is a song built to be performed in a church with the pipe organ and the choir and the this and that.
Yeah.
So it
Interesting.
sounded really good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like you put out some records, you had some great labels too that picked you up and were like, I mean, there was a lot of great momentum going. And then it seemed like there was a bit of a pause, Joel, between the record that just came out and the previous one. And correct me if I'm wrong on that, but did you have like an extended period of time where music was just you weren't recording as much?
Yeah, it's been a nine-year gap, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
kind of
yeah,
purposely took time off.
okay.
So there's already 2 years in there to account just for actually just touring that record was another 2 years.
Right.
Then taking a break. And then, yeah, I have been recording in Munich um, for years. but just in little pieces, you know? Like I didn't
Hmm.
go there to make the whole record in one go. I would go, I don't know how many trips. And then COVID hit and that slowed down the record a bit, but we
Right.
still managed to do a couple sessions in 2020.
Hmm.
And then yeah, the rest has been the build up to putting the record out,
Well, wow.
you know?
And what
Doing
made
it
you?
doing it all myself is
Yeah.
takes a lot of work.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what brought you to Germany? Like, how? What was the displacement from Canada over to Germany? Was that like for job related or getting into a different scene or
I
like?
think
Can you
just being
talk to us?
excited about Europe and
Yeah.
wanting to get out of Canada somehow.
Well, well,
Finding Toronto a bit small and
yeah,
I don't know. It's also hard to describe, but
yeah.
you know,
Was there something about Berlin that was um I don't know, appealing or sexy that you felt like you would fit into that community, or that was a community that kind of welcomed, or like how was that place the place?
it was cheap. There was friends there. We
Yep.
played there. It was in Germany, but not quite so German, if
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like a very like it seemed like the best city to live in Europe. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, I thought about London and Paris and I've thought about all these cities and I love visiting
Hmm.
cities and stuff, but
Right.
um yeah, it's just a good it's a good central European like place to live.
Right. And was most of this new record, Bronto, recorded in Germany?
Um
Was that where you did most of the
Most
production?
of it was recorded in Munich.
Hmm.
Some of the vocals were recorded by myself in Berlin. Uh, yeah, I guess. And then Owen Pallett did the strings. He recorded those in Toronto. So there is a bit of a CanCon connection or a
Right.
CanCon content, of course.
Interesting. Interesting. And what about your label? Like, I mean, your earlier records, you were on Rough Trade, you were on Arts and Craft, and now you have your own called Evil Evil. Is that
Well, that was always the old imprint that I used. That
okay?
was from
Okay.
years ago. So yeah, it's kind of like self-released through a German company, Motor.
Okay. Interesting.
And so yeah, and so all the vinyl that I'm printing is done in Germany.
Cool. Cool. And
Put out a lot of
looking,
vinyls this year.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And looking at this record, like, I mean, I've been a fan since you began, and
yeah,
this is a real shift a little bit in. I mean, it's still definitely the hidden cameras. Like you can't deny that. But you have much more of this electronic-y, dancey vibe going on.
yeah.
What was your decision making in creating more of a, dance floory kind of record, kind of departing from, that churchy indie like beginning phases? Like how did that decision process happen, Joel?
I think it follows in the tradition of my last few records, which are, kind of reinventing my sound or myself
Right.
and or imagining myself through a genre or my very bad interpretation of a genre, because I feel like Age is my goth record, but it's not really a goth record.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Whole
yeah,
Native
yeah.
Land is my country record, but it's not really country.
Right.
So now this is my dance record, and is it really that dance?
Right.
I
I
mean,
mean, I guess it's like
the
there's much
techno
more
beat doesn't even.
electronica stuff in it, eh? Than typical. Like you've kind of moved a little bit away from strings. I mean, even though there are strings and stuff, it just seems more beat based a little bit.
Definitely, there's some guitar, but it's more by sampled. I sampled myself. I sampled my guitar, just a couple things on certain songs.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
So
what's
no,
this
it is
evolution?
electronic.
Like where is all this, like where did your decisions start to shift that you wanted to change genres a little bit? What was it? Was it your environment? Was it just kind of where you were doing stuff, where you were going out or in count? Like how did all of that kind of start to solidify itself?
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of different types of music. So that's just the direction I naturally went in. I wanted to kind of start new in a way after the last record, which was a collection of songs I've been recording since the beginning, actually.
Right, right.
My country record,
Mm,
or I would call it rootsy country folk, I guess.
right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to start fresh, basically,
Mm,
you know?
yeah, yeah. And do you feel that you achieved that freshness when you listen back to this now? Like it's been out in the world for a while. Like
Yeah.
did it achieve what you had wanted it to do?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I haven't listened to it. I mean, once it's out, I don't listen to it because
Right.
I've listened to it a million times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because even the mixing and even the mastering, you have to listen to stuff over and over, you know?
Right, right. Like, give
Um,
us Joel. Give us a ballpark range of like how much does one song like how much do you invest in like one track on like from beginning to end? Can you kind of like give us that timeline of like just the amount of time it takes? Because I think sometimes people when they're not musicians, they're like, yeah, cool song. They just don't understand the blood, sweat, and tears and time that you put into it.
yeah, no, it is. I mean, my process is very slow. I mean, the last song on the record, Don't Tell Me That You Love Me, I wrote that probably 19 years ago. I
Wow.
can't believe how long ago. It's really around the time I moved to Berlin, actually,
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
when I got this Yamaha keyboard. And it's based on this discordant chord that's from that Yamaha keyboard that I bought in a thrift shop, I think somewhere in Canada. Brought it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the production of that, I mean, me and Nicholas in Munich, we did different versions, and we went through percussion, like many different versions of the song to finally end with what we have, which I'm happy that it does kick into a beat after like
Right.
5 minutes, but
Right.
it's a very long build up basically to a
Hmm.
techno beat.
Right.
That's the last song on the record. But I don't know if I imagined the arrangement when I wrote that song.
Hmm.
But I built those vocals up by myself in Berlin quite a long time ago. I just kind of like didn't get around to work to putting the song out, you know. But I knew it was really good, and then it finally had a place on this record.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
And like, what was your total time on that one song? Like,
Oh my gosh, so long because Owen did a mix as well, and then we went through several mixes, and there's a lot of layers and stuff. Like I
right,
wanted it to be kind of Enya,
right,
slightly like Enya, and Enya, her style is to track and track and track and track. So I tried. I'm not sure I did as many as her, but I tried that effect. You know, like
interesting. Well, listen to
that's
that. I
time
mean, that's
consuming.
sounds like a lot of work with the layers. But
Yeah,
so, Joel,
I have a lot of tracks that song.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you go into the studio, when you're ready to put this down, like, what do you bring in? Like, what do you try to bring in? What do you kind of leave? Like, is it fully formed when you bring the song into the actual recording of? Or is there always room for like, okay, we need something in there, or I want to take that out and put this here, and like, does it evolve continuously the song even when you bring it into the studio, or are you pretty well set once you get there with the
Um,
sound and stuff?
with this record, I did not have a set agenda
Hmm,
for some of the songs. Back in the day, like recording The Smell of Our Own in London, I had all the songs written, all the parts in my head and ready to go, and rehearsed the music as well with the band.
right.
With Bronto, no, each song was, you know, sometimes it was like I Want You is definitely a studio creation of all the soundscapes and stuff. Like
Wow.
the song itself was kind of written. I don't even think I finished the lyrics till the very end. So
Wow.
um, yeah, so a lot of the songs were more like studio creations.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was tracking on Pro Tools, but composing and getting the melodies down in Logic and using all going through Logic sounds and all the synths and all of the instruments that they have. They sound
Right.
really, really good, and they have every instrument in the world basically. So it's part of the process of this record was going through sounds. You know,
Hmm,
how do you know Logic unless you go through all of the sounds, or at least
uh-huh.
try to go through some of them? I don't even know. We probably didn't even go through 10% of the sounds,
Wow. Wow.
but at least we went through. So there was days where we just went through sounds, and I would make notes about what sound could fit on good on what record or on what song.
Right. Right.
Just
Right.
taking notes, and then yeah, so that was a large part of Bronto actually.
Wow.
And then there was a lot of analog synths there too, so it was a mixture of both.
And were the songs that appear on Bronto, were they um like an inventory of songs? Like, because you had mentioned before the album that came out before that was like a 10-year kind of, you know,
Yes,
compilation of various songs. Was
yes,
Bronto very much recent songs, or again, were they also songs that you had just in your catalog, that you wanted to put down
yeah.
on tape?
Most of them were old, were written, could have been written 10 years ago. I mean, you'd have to
Hmm.
tell me which song. I could kind of tell you how each song came about. I mean, but I was telling you, don't tell me that you love me. I remember I wrote that when I bought that Yamaha keyboard, and that was, yeah, 2000, I don't know, six, seven,
Amazing.
seven, maybe. I could probably find out.
That's so
Think
cool.
about it. If I think about it long enough.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
is that kind of like the way that you've always operated, where it's not like a session where I'll sit down, or like a complete, like, here's the record, like I've been writing songs for the last, few months, here it is.
Yeah.
Has it always been like, oh yeah, I remember that song from 9 years ago. I think that would fit well here with that
Yes.
sound of that beat. And like, do you
No,
start collaging like that?
I'm already thinking about future records. I mean, I have an inventory of ideas that I sometimes you forget about, but sometimes that's the idea pops up.
Right.
So there's many songs that have yet to be recorded that are oldies in my notebook,
Yeah,
you know?
totally, totally.
And so that's what I want to think about next is what to do next, but
Hmm.
got to come to Canada and play first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, how have you felt the response of the latest record, Bronto? How's that been? Like, how have you, I mean, you spend all this time, you get this artifact,
I
you
know.
release it into the world, it's there. Like, how have you found like the feedback and people's reaction to what you put out?
Well, my whole October has been I've been doing nothing. Well, not nothing, but I have not been playing. So
Right?
it's been a nice, basically, I'm going to Prague and Vienna next week.
Okay.
And that's when the shows start. And I have a whole tour in November, basically.
Okay.
But no, October's just been like preparing for the tour.
Okay. And how many
So
dates are on your tour? How many?
um quite a few. We're just adding Salzburg for next year, but yeah. Do you know Efterklang? They're a
That's
Danish band. They were
okay.
on 4AD and now they're on City Slang, I think.
Yeah, they sound yes,
Check them out. I'm playing
yeah,
with them
definitely.
in
Okay.
Warsaw. So that's my first time playing Poland.
Wow.
And then there's a Berlin show at the Canteen am Berghain, it's called,
Wow.
and a festival in Graz. And then there's Madrid and Barcelona and Lisbon in December.
Wow. Amazing.
Oh, and
Amazing.
Gothenburg, Sweden, and then Hamburg.
And like, what's your anticipation? Like, you have all these dates lined up. You're
Yeah,
going to be like saturated in it.
yeah.
Somebody said that you work 24 hours to play 1 hour, like you're
I
in the
know.
job for 24 hours, because what else are you going to do? And, wherever you're at, like,
Yeah.
how do you get prepared for a tour like this?
It's not actually a grueling tour because it's just, a couple shows on this leg and then in and out to Warsaw from Berlin.
Hmm.
So it's only like two shows or three shows each time I go out,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
how I wanted it because, the back in the day, the band, I mean, we did a sleeper coach with a 10-piece band and we were playing every night, I believe, for 2 weeks in Europe. But when you have a sleeper coach, you can do it. And that's grueling. That's really grueling. When it's a 6-week tour,
Right.
I've
Right.
done I've done a 6-week North American tour and a 6-week European tour back to back. That's more like how do you do it?
Right.
This is
Right.
easy. I'm taking a train by myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's the
It's
setup?
easy.
Like what's the hidden camera's setup for these shows coming up to represent this record?
It's just me and a guitar and a kick drum. So I'm
Wow.
playing some of the old songs
Yeah.
with a kick drum sometimes. And then the tracks. So my dance tracks, I play a little guitar on the dance tracks, but I mostly just sing and dance a bit to some of the bangers on the new record.
Wow.
And sometimes I'll have a guest.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, it depends who's playing with me, but sometimes it's nice. I always try to get somebody to sing on Boys of Melody with me at the end.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah.
That's pretty cool though. Like, is it harder when you're up there all by yourself than, having, a handful of other musicians around you to, like, is it a different mindset that you have to go into the show with?
I'm more comfortable with performing and especially by myself. So um I kind of look forward to it in a way. Um
Because it's only you, right? There's no other people to worry about or what they're doing, or it's just like,
yeah,
it's you and your
basically.
music.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Don't
Well,
get me
Joel,
wrong, I like
yeah,
playing with people, but it's quite a lot more stress somehow.
right. And I
And
imagine too, like you're not in a huge camper and like all these other, yeah, it's like
yeah,
you go on your train, you're on your train, you're chilling, like it's like
yeah,
much more conducive to a show, I would say, than a 6 week 24/7
yeah,
everyone around you. Like
definitely.
right on. Well, Joel, this has been really fun. I really appreciate.
Yeah,
I'm
it's been
super
great.
happy that we got a chance to just connect before you actually start playing these tunes out in the world.
Yeah.
Canada would always love to see you come back and perform for us. Your home is your home. But
Yeah, I'm looking into coming next year.
that'd be amazing. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. And Joel, just one other, like, the music keeps going on. You're always in this creative songwriting process.
Not really, but I am working on a couple. I have a couple ideas for different records.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not like trying to write songs every day, not at all.
Will the wait between records be as long as the last one?
I don't think so, but who knows? Who knows if there's going to be another pandemic?
Right? That's
You
true.
know?
You never know with this crazy world of ours, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best in your tour. I'm so hopefully you can throw a few pictures up so us people far away can kind of see what it looks like and feels like.
I will
I
definitely try to. Yeah.
I've really been enjoying this record. It's a really cool, fun. I have to drive into Montreal, so I'm gonna throw it on super loud the whole way in. So
Oh, nice. So
um,
you don't live in Montreal?
no, well, I'm kind of down the country today, so
Okay.
I have like an hour and a half drive I have to go to the city
Nice.
now.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's really good
Yeah,
guitar, I think.
yeah, yeah. Well, and all the best on the tour and the record. And if you ever want to come and talk about a new record or a new experience, I'm
Yeah.
always here for you, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Take care.
All right. Take care of yourself. Bye.
What's been said that hasn't been said, and who is there to blame if you can't blame yourself? G. It's war that will be spared, and the towns, they all will sing. Don't tell me that you love me, the ugliness still haunts me. Is there anybody here to understand what's dear to me? Anybody who you want to stand next to? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Been said that hasn't been said, and who can we blame if we can't blame ourselves? Don't tell me that you love me. You did it when you were someone, being all those other guys you said that you despised. Don't tell me that you want me. You want everything and nothing, just like all those other guys, to which I must apply. Whoa, 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 whoa. You will not be admitted, 'cause you haven't got a ticket. Is there anybody who you want to travel to? Darling, anybody here you want to stand next to? I heard you got your name back, but you were planning on a comeback. Is there anybody who you want to travel to? Darling, anybody who you want to stand next to?